What do you want to talk about?
Whatever we want. I've got topics for days. I'm so Call it Topicana. Fresh squeezed.
Welcome to the party. I don't know what I'm doing.
I was feeling the theme tonight.
Yeah. That was such a groove. Kelly, man, that's a groove, right, Andy?
It is a groove.
Yeah.
Good shit. And I invited them over. I did for Topicana.
Yeah. Kelly, he's
Kelly-
referring to his
Kelly
lovely
and
wife,
Elise.
Elise.
I don't know if they ever responded though.
It's okay.
But,
You did it within an hour of when we were going to do this.
Right. It was like a last minute thing where I was like, "Do you think?" It's just one of those days where you want to be around your friends.
Okay. Well, we're with Andy right now, and
Yeah,
we're
the
talking.
three of us, three friends together.
We're technically talking to a lot of our friends because they happen to be patrons, and then in a
Yeah.
week we'll be talking to the whole world,
Yes, it's true.
and they are my friends.
Is Elsa a friend?
Elsa is my best friend. She's my dog.
You know, if Elsa's
Shitting
such a
me?
good friend, we'll
What
see.
about
if she-
your other dog? Your
She's
other dog,
also
her
my
name.
best friend.
Yeah, Millie's pretty special.
There's boundless and endless. It's a bottomless cup of love.
So Andy, where would you rank Andy, me, Elsa, Millie?
Oh, okay. No, this is fun.
Please rank me below the dogs.
We're gonna do
I'm not serious. Don't answer that question because I know where I really land. If we get serious,
because it's
on
like
it,
first is both
the
dogs,
dogs are gonna come before me.
then
You-
Andy,
You're gonna land at the bottom of the gorge.
then you. Just kidding.
It's like you're being good son did.
You're being good son to did.
son to did. Andy, I understand your fear now. Being good son to did.
It'll happen if you don't watch your back.
Good son to did.
If
I love
if
that.
I had to make a choice, like if you and Amy were Freddie and Amy were on either hand, I'll let you both go.
Yeah.
Just so you wouldn't have to keep cooking
Yes.
for
Yeah,
us.
don't let me live in a world where he isn't
No.
here.
I
And
don't
vice
live with
versa.
that guilt of
Right,
killing one of
yeah.
my friends. And,
Oh, I see.
Uh,
It's a sweet reason. I thought you were just like, God, I'm tired of cooking meals for these two.
or maybe I'll just let all three of us go.
Yeah, we could
I was
all
like,
go.
I'm
Like,
coming with you.
you know what that is?
try-
Good idea.
That's a 3 Thelma and Louise. That's a Trauma and Louise.
It'd be funny, like if we all three of us fell off and we'd be fighting to who lands on top of each other.
Yeah,
It's a trauma and Lou threes.
Lou threes.
I
That's unusual.
apologize. That was
That's
really
an awful name.
We try for
It's like,
those
did you-
puns.
It's like, did you mean Louise? No, my name is
Lou
Three.
threes.
You're named number 3 after my favorite horse.
Anyway, welcome to Topicana. Today is 420.
You know what it is? If you weigh 420 pounds or more, you eat free at Golden Corral.
Oh, that's a bad deal for them.
That is
Yeah.
a bad deal for them.
We don't know.
But you have to be exact.
It's a glandular problem.
It's exact.
Down to like the ounces, not even
Yeah.
like 420.1.
Point 1, you go over, there's like sweat drop. That kind of drips off this guy's face. And then they're like, yeah, all right, go eat some ribs.
They're like, hold
yeah,
on, let
man,
me take
it's-
my underwear off.
Yeah. Oh, no, you're close enough. Free ices for both of you.
Speaking of ounces, it is Ohio's first legal 420. So I can go on my porch, spark a J. That's what the kids say. And nobody can do nothing about it, I think. I don't really know the laws. But
Don't you mean dank weed?
if I can drink a beer on my porch, then I can smoke
Look.
a joint on my porch.
Amy said dank weed the other day, and Freddie gave her shit about it.
Yeah, because I'm not that person.
I wasn't giving you shit.
I'm not that person.
I like that. It's
I
just,
need-
it was
but-
out of character for Amy to say dank weed.
Well, it was stank. Okay.
It's a funny word. It would be
They were
like
dank nugs.
it would be like me being like, oh, panties. Why are they always in the way?
That is in character for you, though.
No, that is kind of, I guess,
Yeah.
in character for me. What would be out of character for me to say? Oh, Let's make America great again, guys.
Yes, very
that
much,
would
very
be
much
like that. Only not as extreme.
You'd be like, I don't know. I think
Dang.
life does begin at conception.
Possibly,
That would be
Dang?
very
Yeah.
weird for me to say.
Yeah. Some dank ass feti.
Ooh.
Oh man, have you had any of these dank fetuses yet?
Oh man, you put them in a grinder.
They're so damp.
I will stop.
You have to dry them out first because if you put like fresh fetuses in,
Yeah.
it'll just clog up your grinder.
Yeah, you don't do
Embryos before embryos, am I right?
that. So happy holiday. You still can't buy recreational marijuana here in Ohio, but soon, I guess. Nobody's told me.
Yeah.
I've not been invited to any meetings. But that's okay.
The legality thing.
I have other things to do.
Yeah.
But anyway, happy day. I have celebrated.
Oh, happy
I'll just let you know.
day. Was that written about 420?
No.
I didn't think it was.
Andy, what have you done?
I think it's about
Celebrate.
Jesus.
Have you visited Hitler's grave?
Yes, his grave. Does he have a grave?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Happy birthday, Justin Crane.
You know somebody that shares the
Yeah.
birthday with
Yeah.
history's most notorious
Yeah. I never asked him what he thought about it either, I
killer,
don't
murderer,
think.
bastard.
I'm going to ask him what he thinks.
All right.
You know, like you'd be like, "Do you have any celebrity birthdays, Justin?" That's how I would lean into it. I would be like, "Hey,
It's
man,
it's like we're Entertainment Tonight did the
Yes.
celebrity birthdays.
Oprah Winfrey, that's mine." And then Tom Selleck, I think too. You want a reverse mortgage?
No,
I know a guy.
some bullshit.
We have
But
a
I
shared
did not do
birthday.
anything because I only smoke when I'm around you guys.
Well, then come on
Yeah.
up.
Come on over.
Yeah, we've celebrated so far, and
Yeah.
we've done some. We've been out in the sunshine in the green.
We
Of
did
my grass.
yard work together, and we didn't
So
bicker.
like that's the way I celebrate.
Can I just tell you how wonderful it was to work together as a marital team on our yard and not fight?
That's what the marijuana is for.
Yeah, it was really pleasant. We did we were like a fucking team.
Honestly, get yourself a power washer, and that wand that's kind of shaped like a giant gun, like a
Yeah.
long gun, and just go to town on like your siding because it's like let's wash the last year off of it.
Yeah.
And it's like very zen if you're a little
feels
stony
good.
maloned.
Even if you're not.
well, yeah.
Stone sober. Andy, you've pressure washed before, right?
Yes,
He's a middle-aged man.
Do you love
Yeah.
it too?
I like concrete and decks.
Yeah.
That's my
Oh,
favorite.
yeah.
You like doing the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ground is better for some reason. It's like pushing it out to the street. Like cleaning
Yeah,
the
I-
driveway is
Mm-hmm.
the best.
Yeah, I feel like you can see the grime better come up than siding.
Yeah. The siding is fun though, because we had green shit. We had is it algae? Is that what it is?
Truly
We
couldn't.
had like moss.
I'm not a scientist.
There's some green shit. When you have
There was green shit. Now
vinyl
there
siding,
isn't.
You get green shit.
Gone.
We blasted the green shit away.
Yep. So anyway, that was our 420.
Just blasting green shit.
Topicana today.
appropriate
We're
as
just
hell, really.
we're gonna go through rando topics.
Yeah, like dank ass moss and
It's
algae.
toppy topics.
Pressure washing.
We got to talk about it.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, in the spirit of 420, can I ask what I was going to ask last week real quick?
Yeah.
My top, because we skipped last week because
Yeah.
some things came up. But my question was, what is your nightmare blunt rotation?
Blunt rotation nightmare.
I love this question, Andy.
Because I've asked the dream one before, but
People
since it's
with wet
420, I
mouths.
feel it don't make it obvious. Like, well, Donald Trump, I don't want to like that's
Right.
obvious.
Right.
Like Hitler, like, that's obvious. But like, just think at like people that you would hate. to
I know,
smoke
right?
weed with.
Dude, I know exactly. Andy, it would be this really boring woman I used to work with. Would be the first
Oh,
one.
Like, tell me like why she's boring.
Okay, she's okay. First off, this is no judgment on this lifestyle or any commentary on her as a person. She was a wonderful person. I loved her to death, but like ankle length denim skirt.
Oh, well, she's religious then.
Yes,
Long hair.
very fundamental.
Oh yeah. Any like super Christian is out of my blunt rotation. Gross.
super Cincinnati Reds fan though. So, but I am not interested in baseball. So that's the extra thing. That's the thing is the one thing that is her interesting thing is boring to me. Even her one most interesting thing is torture to begin with for me most of the time.
Like, no offense to people who like baseball, but of all the sports to be like a really big fan of, I'm like, that?
It's fun to go to a game every once in a while.
Yeah, but really it's just because you want to get out of the house and it's nice.
Yeah,
out.
get some dollar hot dogs.
It's the religious fans who don't miss a game.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That takes a certain level of interest in statistics that I'm not capable of just churning up.
Yeah.
But she would be my nightmare blunt rotation, seat 1.
Okay.
And it would be like she would just fucking bore me.
Okay, let's say like 3 people. So like who else you got?
For me, another one I would hate to have in there. Oof, damn. The reason I'm being slow about this is I'm trying to protect identities here in case this goes, because this is publicly consumed. It's consumed pubically. But I went to school with this fella who was so into Dungeons and Dragons. I was going to say D&D, which I just presume the audience would understand.
I think our audience would.
But he was so into D&D. And if he hears this, he'll know I'm talking about him because this detail is important. But he stole a Thieves Handbook, which was a supplement, a book. When I say supplement, I mean it's an extra book that's printed to play the game Dungeons and Dragons. You don't have to have it. But it's a little extra set of rules that make the game a little deeper and a little more fun. And they had one called the Thieves Handbook. And we were at a game convention. I think it was Gen Con. And he stole it. Said this is the only way you can really honestly have a Thieves Handbook.
Who did he steal it from?
A vendor.
Oh, shit.
Stole it from a vendor.
That's not cool. When you let your hobby get into your personal life like that, that's a bridge too far.
It's a sign of a mental illness, right? So like this person felt the only way you could legitimately own the Thieves Handbook is if you stole it.
Oh, dude.
And this person also thought that their grandfather was a ninja over in Japan and all that stuff. Yet they had no signs at all of having any Japanese heritage other than that. Him saying that. Now, being on the weed circle with him would be a nightmare because it would just be like somebody's big fish stories.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and you wouldn't know. You would know in your heart of hearts that none of them were remotely possible, and that the person who's telling you these big fish stories did not have any of these experiences. It's like A Million Little Pieces or whatever, that book. He's just feeding you bullshit. So it would be the boring person, the toxic level bullshitter, and too hardcore D&D. The most interesting thing about him is also boring, is that he is he's not even like the fun level of into D&D. He's like the psycho level of D&D.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the seat 2. Seat 3 would just be a cop.
Any cop.
All right.
Any cop.
Any cop will do you.
Like, you think he's being cool with you, like smoking weed, but like, guess what? It's not legal yet.
Yeah.
Oh
That's my nightmare circle.
Okay.
Oh
Hey,
yeah,
when you wanna
and
go, or
the shark from Jaws.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Plus, he's gonna smoke a lot of weed, so like he's gonna drain your bowl right away.
Yeah, I'd be like, "Smile, you son of a bitch," and he would because he's so high. But
I don't know
why couldn't you just be cool like this with the Kentner kid?
And get your weed all wet.
You knew the shark was sober and you let people go swimming anyway.
Here's my nightmare blunt rotation. A wine mom / Mormon influencer.
Oh yeah, wine
And
mom.
she's into MLMs too.
Yeah.
What is a wine mom exactly?
To me, it's just these basic, and I'm basic. Listen, but I know them when I see them. It's like pornography. But it's just these. They have long blonde hair and 2 white teeth, and everything.
Just 2 white teeth.
Just 2.
Oh, I thought you meant
2, as in they are too bright.
That's how you know they're a wine mom. They're like, hey, she watch. Housewives.
The Mormon influencers, they're all like secretly like
Yeah.
being
They're sleeping
domestically
with
amused
swapping.
or abused and wife swapping, and it's all
They're
gross.
they're the ones that line up for the Stanley Cups.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah,
And don't come
that
at me
makes
like,
sense.
hey, so don't come at me like you're just making fun of it because it's a woman's thing. No, that's a dumb thing to be excited about.
It's fucking dumb. All of it's dumb.
I agree.
Yes. Then remember that guy that used to follow me around Horror Hound Weekend?
Oh yeah.
Tall, skinny guy that would wear like the Superman stuff?
Yeah,
That guy?
that guy was kind of like you don't know if he was scary or not.
It was scary enough to be followed around by somebody
Yeah.
Yeah,
at
yeah.
multiple horror hounds.
Right. Yeah, I think it was scary too.
But I haven't seen him in a while, and I hope he's well.
Yeah.
My grandmother.
Talking to somebody else.
Yeah. My grandmother would be just an absolute fucking disaster nightmare. Just when she's dead sober, I can't even imagine how she'd ruin weed.
Could you imagine though if you had that opportunity, like to just like, would you just be like because it has no fucking consequence whatsoever in this scenario to plant your grandma June down with a big fat blunt and just observe what would happen there? You know, would be fascinating as shit to me.
Yeah, but there's a lot of trauma involved in just being around her.
That's true. It would also be like direct trauma. New trauma would be inflicted.
I would not want my therapist in my blunt rotation for sure. That would be weird.
That
All
seems
of my
unethical too.
therapists. Yeah.
Oh, your therapist, if they were high too, like they would absolutely break a bunch of ethics. Mm-hmm. Like they would go too deep with you.
But then I'd know for sure. Does she like me?
But they would go. They would see their inhibitions would also be down from the weed.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, we could try that new experimental treatment we read about in Mad Scientist Quarterly, and then you'd be like, their other personality would be like, no, we mustn't. And then the other personality would be like, but we must. And the other one would go, I think you're right. It's time to merge. Nightmare circle right there. You're right.
I wrote something on here to remind myself of what my other answer was going to be.
But
I can't
what you
read it.
wrote.
it's because your nightmare therapist
Trench
erased
man?
the memory with
Trench man?
Trend man?
Trench man? Trench man? Trash man?
Two reality stars I would hate to be in a blunt rotation with.
Yeah.
Kenya Moore from Housewives of Atlanta. She can. And Jax from Vanderpump Rules and Now the Valley. They fuck those two.
Vanderplump.
And I'm done.
I have to say that
Okay.
every time for some reason. Is that Tourette's?
What?
Vanderplump. I have to say Vanderplump
Oh.
every time you say Vanderpump.
I don't know. Andy?
Okay. Mine it starts off with Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift.
Okay, yeah.
And I count them as one person because
Sure.
they're always all of each other.
Oh,
I just feel like it would just be very me.
Are they
About
nightmarishly
everything.
fused together like in a Cronenberg movie?
Yes, like they went through the fly thing.
Yeah.
Shit. All right.
That'd be amazing. And they're like pass, and you're like, ugh, you don't even want it because they're fused together, and it's kind of Cronenbergy when they get the blunt. You know, they're like dribbling all over because their
A little-
mouths don't match exactly
Yeah.
right.
It's gonna be a little slimy when you get the joint or bowl or bong back.
100%.
Yeah. And I'm be afraid that she's gonna write a song about it. And like, I know you're talking about me, Taylor.
Because the song is about the time she was fused together with the Kelsey
Yeah.
brother and had to smoke a joint with you in a Cronenbergian
Yeah.
nightmare.
And like, no, I'm not just picking on Taylor Swift. Like Travis Kelce is very like
Cronenbergian
me,
problems.
like they're both very main character.
Yeah.
So
The
it's not- I'm just
opinions
not just
expressed
picking on
by
her.
Andy do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the rest of the podcast.
Right.
Are you
Also,
afraid the Swifties are gonna come after us?
No,
And
I
I
do
am
not
not-
have the vitriol you have. None of I just don't.
but I will tell you that if you were thinking about me, if you feel like I've besmirched the great Kelsey or Swift's names, just no, I'm just a regular guy trying to live a life over here.
He didn't mean it.
I didn't mean it. I'll unfuse them in this metaphor that Andy created for you.
Okay.
I'll try to pull them
Well,
apart.
I'll just give some examples of why I hate them.
All right.
Not just because they're rivals of the Bengals.
Sure.
It's like Travis Kelsey first. It was like him and Jamar Chase were trash talking about their quarterbacks, and Travis Kelsey got mad that Jamar Chase said that Joe Burrow was a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes.
It's when he's not injuring himself constantly and taking pictures of Donald Trump. It's true.
Yeah. And then Travis Kelsey was like, maybe play fighting, I don't know, but it comes across as very serious. He was like, talk your shit, pimp.
Oh
he was,
yeah,
like,
because
very
that's the
sincere
kind of
about it.
thing.
It's
That's
like-
the thing where it sounds like you're about to throw a punch.
No, but even if he's serious about the way he like expressed it, like talk
Travis
your
Kelsey,
shit,
you
pimp.
really want to spend your energy defending Broccoli Head?
Yeah.
Okay.
But what person says, talk your shit, pimp? Like, dude,
That's a little weird.
that's just cringe.
Yeah.
And an example for Taylor Swift, she was at the Grammys and Tracy Chapman and Luke Bryan were performing Fast Car. And she's standing up singing every single word like it was like
She was enjoying herself to that song.
like Sweet Caroline or like
This
Don't
is
Stop
Taylor
Believin'.
Swift was doing that.
Yeah.
That she does have a tendency to like really get enthusiastic about live acts at award shows. I think it's fine.
Oh, okay.
but
Interesting.
that not for that song, it just seems very
Because the subject matter is
Yeah.
escaping poverty, and she
Yes.
is the poster child for someone who is fucking loaded.
Has never
but
not been.
she's
It's very
standing
let-
up singing in like an anthem or something.
It's let them eat cake when she does that. When she does it, it's let them eat cake. Is what you know what I'm saying by that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay, so I'll get them out the way. Another one is any improv performer or theater kid. You know what I mean?
Any one of them. You're
'Cause-
like
because-
even the ones who grew into entertainers you love, like Phil Hartman.
Because I know as soon as they get high that they'll start doing voices, impersonations,
Man,
inappropriate ones too. They'll be like doing Cheech and Chong impersonations.
think
like,
about
"Hey."
getting super high with Daryl Hammond and how fucking fun that would be, though.
You
Because
think
then
that-
he'd be a high Clinton,
You know what I think
and then
about?
you could do like stuff,
I think
bits and skits.
the story that Fozzie told us when he was at the Comedy Cellar in New York, and Dave Chappelle came in and took over.
Yeah.
But because I think he was so high that he trapped everybody basically in there and held them
I'm
hostage.
not looking
with
for
comedy.
a show. I'm just looking to giggle with Daryl Hammond
Yeah.
doing Bill Clinton.
Yeah, I think Andy's scenario is like you can't escape the level
Yeah.
of being on. Right, is your nightmare.
Yeah, and they'll start singing show tunes eventually. I'm like, ah.
But do you care how the quality? Like Amy's saying, I think your point, Amy,
No,
is like
I feel like-
their theater kids come in all shapes and sizes now.
No.
Anyway, we know what he means, and I understand him completely.
Yeah.
Glee cast members.
We're talking about Leah
Yes.
Michelle and Leah Michelle only.
Yeah.
Or like maybe theater kids, improv performers, 40 and below. I can't hang with them.
Okay.
Like
The
once
youth.
you get older, I feel like maybe you've calmed down a little bit.
He
You're
can't be
right.
around large teenagers.
Or they stuck
Yeah.
it through and became better at improv, so it's actually entertaining. You know what I mean? Like if you're like young improvers, inexperienced improver, worst fucking seat 2 or 3, I can't remember which, in a weed circle. Absolutely agree.
Okay. And my last one is a certain person that accused us of putting weed in their food.
Oh, yes,
yeah.
yes, that would fucking suck.
Very
doubt
personal.
That this person would, I doubt that this person would partake, but in the case, the off chance that this person would, I'm like, oh God.
They would be the person
just-
that thinks they're dying from it and needs you to take them to
Yeah.
the hospital.
They would call the cops.
That
on
has
you.
been me in the
Yeah.
past.
They'd find a reason. They try
Long
to
time
find a
ago.
reason to call the cops on you.
And this person also was a theater person too, so
So they
it's
fall in many a category.
Doubly awful.
Oh, what if it's two versions of that person where like
Fused
one
together.
Yeah, or separated. It's the opposite of what we did with Travis and Taylor. It's two of that person where you get one of them at their most theater kiddiness and you get a second dose of them at their most fucking what would be the most narky version? The most fucking narc.
Oh, this person was also just a wet blanket too, so it's not
Narc
just
energy.
his theater kid energy. It was wet blanket
Yeah.
energy too.
Yeah, it was like depriving us of the theater kid part of who you are. Even
Yeah.
we're like,
How dare.
aren't you supposed to make people? Aren't you a clown? Is what I'm asking. Aren't you a clown? If you're in the theater at all, you're kind of a clown.
Oh, Freddie Morris.
No, I'm not saying that as a degradation. I love clowning and shit. I'm seeing
Yeah.
the real sense of like
I think that's
you are. The point of being in the
All right.
theater is to bring joy to other people. Most people would agree. Anybody that is drawn to the theater as a profession, especially, is doing it because they like to make people happy. But to
And
leave
also-
that
In my mind, a lot of them get into it because they just love attention, not because they want to make people happy.
there is
well,
that.
I think you're right, Andy. I think that may have been the case here because
That's most
if
of your
you
stand-up
really have
comics.
it in you to bring joy to other people, you don't. That doesn't just stop when you punch out from your job as an actor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that shouldn't just stop there. If you're doing it for the right reasons,
That's what we need to tell Sir Sean Connery
yeah,
slapping his women.
that.
Okay. All right. So thank you for indulging me on that question.
No, I'm glad we did that. That was a good one. To get back to the Kelseys, it has been dominating the Cincinnati news since they were here last week. The Kelsey brothers for some live podcast.
It was their podcast. Yeah.
And apparently they had some other event where they wrestled in a pool of Cincinnati chili. And Jason Kelsey wore his Super Bowl ring and lost
Nothing
it.
else.
And now they are actually at fucking Rumpke, or the landfill.
Oh, the one down the street from me.
Yeah, looking for
So
it.
should I volunteer?
You gonna
Like,
go
can I
down
get
there and
on that?
look?
Like people have gone to Rumpke.
Andy, you could go down and be with all the other weirdos and try to find his ring.
I'll find it and I can give it back.
Get a
So, fuck
metal
you, Kelsey.
detector. Are people down there with metal detectors? They allow that?
Probably.
I wonder if they allow
I
you
have
in.
no, I don't know how that works, but I will just tell you, as like a woman married to a man who isn't always thinking all the way through things,
Yeah.
I feel for the wife. She's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
His Super Bowl ring. And I can
His
see
real
that.
one?
Yes.
Like not just like
No.
a facsimile or
No.
replica.
Other people were wearing that. I think his brother was wearing like a fake one or something. I don't know the whole story, but I can tell you it's been every day there's something on the news.
Can I say, as a person who is like that, like,
Yeah.
I understand that impulsivity.
Yeah.
You learn to let go of things like that, where you're like, no, everyone knows I won the Super Bowl,
Well, yeah, I mean,
and I feel like he's gonna be okay.
I'm sure.
I think he's
Yeah,
gonna
like
be
maybe he doesn't value like objects as much, and
okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't give a shit, but just the fact
Yeah.
that people are trying to find it.
Well, I'm just hoping that it's not something like where he's like the ring has that hold over him, because then it's like fucking he's better be pitching it in Mountain Doom
Right.
before things get out of hand.
I will say that I should have said it was Skyline chili, which
Yeah.
is
Cincinnati chili.
Arguably the best Cincinnati
the
chili.
best and the most like
Yeah.
prolific in the area.
But I'm like, good. That's what you get, Jesse Kelsey, for being related to Travis Kelsey.
They were really so nice in talking about Cincinnati and how much they loved playing here and being here.
It's an
total
act.
realness outside
It's
of
an
being a
act,
sports
yeah.
fan. They seem like really nice
Sure.
guys.
Anyway, okay. Had to talk about it. Sorry, Andy. Also have to talk about it. The Tortured Poets Department. Have we listened?
No, not yet.
I mean,
Is this part of your Topicana questions or?
Yeah, these are
you
all my
just-
topics.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No.
You've not listened?
It's 2 hours,
No,
right?
I refuse to.
I've listened to a handful of songs, and it's super fucking indulgent.
Yeah.
And it's like staring straight up her own asshole. But I think she's kind of said that.
Yeah.
Like this is the kind
Owning
of stuff that is staring up your own asshole. This is what that is.
It's
But,
good to
like-
get it out there. One
But
way or the
I don't
other.
know. Like
The
anyway.
thing about it is she might be self-aware, but her fans aren't.
No.
And they take everything that she says, even though it might be tongue in cheek. And poking fun of herself, they take it as gospel and like, oh, she's the greatest songwriter of ever.
Do they move
type
as
of
a
stuff.
monolith like that?
Yes.
Taylor
Oh,
Swift
God, yeah.
fans?
The Swifties.
So like there's no dissent.
No.
So they haven't started breaking into factions yet.
Well, is one faction
Oh, I see. They're
that
always
I'm
a
aware
faction.
of, but those are the Gaylors,
Yeah.
and I think that's a bridge too far for me.
What is that?
The people who believe that she's gay and has been talking and like coding it into her music.
Are there going to be
And-
Seventh Day at Taylor Swift?
And I think it's really kind of weird to speculate about somebody's sexuality like that when they've explicitly said they are not that thing. But
yeah.
you do you, boo.
You remember there was the Moonies,
Yeah.
and then there was the Trumpers, and then there was the Manson family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, it is very like
Well, the name
Aren't I
itself
clever?
of the title.
yeah,
of
it's
the
a little
album,
eye
like,
rolly. But there's some
it's
good
very
songs on
like
there.
it's very like High School Notebook type stuff.
I think I might be like a very tiny, mild fan of Taylor Swift. I think it's time to admit it. But
I'm
I'll
a
tell
fan.
you,
Always have been a fan of Taylor Swift's.
I like Lana Del Rey quite a bit, and she's just like cosplaying as her for some of these songs. It's interesting. They're very much
Yeah, like I
like
feel
a
like
Lana Del Rey song.
Taylor Swift is trying so hard to be interesting,
Yeah,
but when she in her heart is very not.
right.
This is an artist situation
We're all
for me.
boring.
She happens to be the youngest artist example I can give people. Where that argument everybody has about Roman Polanski, Woody Allen, like these artists who created something that really is of value, is well crafted.
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson, or even R. Kelly created. There's these people who
Trapped in the
otherwise
closet.
good, bad, whatever. They're maybe just people that are gross. They don't, they might just be a little gross and a little bit gross, not even hugely gross, just a little grosser than what you would want to hang around with.
Okay.
Okay, and Taylor Swift may be one of those people, right?
Like
But
Michael Gross.
Yeah, and Michael Jackson definitely was one of those people.
Yeah.
Super gross, right? But they're inarguably awesome artists. Inarguably, Taylor Swift's one of those people. She has earned that shit where you're like, no matter how, if you turn into a total fucking weirdo piece of shit, your art is established. It is inarguably of a craft that is like master level stuff. Nobody can take that away from you once you've done that. But you can have this weird fucking cult make your brand turn into just the weird cult.
You could. What was I going to say? Oh, if you're wondering, but you guys didn't talk about Cowboy Carter. In fact, Freddie and I did talk about it on the last a couple of origins ago, and those are available at patreon.com/NOTLP if you're listening to this on the main feed.
I have a new album out.
Well, hold on, Freddie, we're not even there yet. Can I just finish?
No, I was just saying. I just
And yes,
remembered.
we'll talk about it.
Yes, so it came out yesterday.
So Freddie and I gave our thoughts on it, and I think we both felt like it was a little overproduced. But there's some bangers on there. Andy,
Yes,
what are your
definitely.
thoughts on Cowboy
we
Carter?
talked about it a little bit.
Oh,
on the
did
last
that's right?
episode.
We did. Fucking
Yeah.
hell, that's what the wheel'll do. So anyway, if you were wondering, we have talked about it.
Yeah, the lyrics
Yes,
are a little dumb.
if you didn't listen to the main show yet, I described it as indulgent,
Right.
but still very good.
And you know what? It's so funny. That's how I described Tay-Tay's album. You know what? We're in their indulgent eras right now.
Which and you can
Their
kinda,
diva eras
don't you
are
hit,
next.
hit those moments listening to those
And
albums.
Mariah is gonna just be there to mentor
Yeah.
them.
Do you those indulgent moments you're talking about, like when you hit them in the album? Do you feel like with this Beyonce album that you went through? We didn't cover this, where you go through like the tunnel and come out on the other side to one where you're like, oh, I'm back.
Yeah.
Like it's tunnel moments. It's like it's you. I see that album, that Beyonce album, as just mountains with a train going through them, and you're like banger, 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 pfft, garbage. Then banger, banger, banger. Then what is this garbage? Then banger, banger, banger. Filler again, and this filler sounds a little crazy. This is called Her Doctor Crazy.
And here's the thing: like I have the ability to press skip,
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
So like I can easily
Oh, yeah.
go over the parts I don't like.
You could probably just make a playlist, turn it into
Yeah.
one of the greatest albums of all time if you trimmed it down to a short playlist.
You're basically just crafting it for yourself.
Yeah, it's good shit. Like I would say, stick it through. Like because the song might, if you're one of the, like, I love albums. I love listening to a full length album
I love Lamp.
and Lamp, but there are most albums I'll listen to once in its entirety. And then I'll go back and listen to what singles I like from it. But then there's those rare ones, where I have to hear the whole album beginning and end every time. This is not one of those albums, not by a mile.
I'd say neither one of these albums are that.
But if you're listening to it for the first time,
Thought Midnight's was better.
Stick it out, because there's shit that it goes drastically different.
But I do think
places.
Cowboy Carter is better than Renaissance. Don't come at me, Beehive. I can't. My life is shitty enough.
Is it because is it because you're homophobic?
It's all of those reasons, Andy, and
okay.
more. So yes, turns out April 19th was important, not just because Taylor Swift released an album, but our own Freddie Morris released his EP live on TV. Search it on all the streaming platforms. Freddy.
I mentioned it before prematurely. I'm sorry.
Like, I have an agenda. Can you just chill the fuck out and not interject anywhere?
Yeah. I didn't know you had an agenda.
I told you both I was going to take care of it. Okay.
All right. Agenda
anyway.
It is.
It's called Live on TV. Andy and I are both on that album. Andy and I have a speaking role.
Ooh, are we in the writing credits? Do we get residuals?
Technically, you guys are writers on there. And, if you existed out there, I would give you real credit if you existed as like an ASCAP writer or something.
If we existed, Andy.
If you file with ASCAP.
I'm staying off the grid.
I would give you credit, absolutely, because you guys improv some golden
And Kelly,
shit.
too. But Kelly was really the star of that show.
The only thing I don't like about that song, I love that song.
It's a song called Live on TV.
Live on TV, which is the name of the EP. But the only thing there was this thing that happened when I was mixing the album where your parts are just kind of a little quieter than I wanted them to be. But I got to a point of no return on the work where I couldn't go make them any louder, separate them out again. So like when you listen to the album, you're going to hear Amy and Andy deliver some pretty brilliant shit, but you're going to have to probably be listening on headphones.
Amy, he's trying to silence us.
He is. He's silencing women and minority voices.
Yeah. So that's the only that's the, every time anybody that works on an album, you're going to remember there's a thing you did that fucked up. There's a fuck up you did you couldn't fix.
So anyway, I'm also on Parthenogenesis, which is another song, and I did a little bit of a background vocal. You can sort of hear me. I'm Flavor. So really that's why you want to listen, because Andy, me, and Kelly are on it, and not because Freddie wrote it and performed the vast majority of it.
It's the NOTLP All-Stars.
Yeah. So go do that.
Yeah. Congratulations, Freddie.
Thank you, Andy. I appreciate it. It's like you guys, I'm very much one of those artists where I feel like I'm at the kid getting his stuff put on the fridge moments, and you guys are the one putting the stuff on the fridge for me. It's my podcast family. It's like, I'm like, this is what I made at school today. And then you guys are like, oh, this is just nice. And then you go and you magnet it onto the fridge for me for a week.
Look at you.
Yeah. That's where I'm at in my career as an artist. I'm a fridge magnet.
Last topic is going to be happy 25th anniversary of Columbine.
Oh my God, Amy.
I know, right? Isn't that like crazy?
Damn, you got to warn us next time you switch that hard.
I know, that was a hard fucking switch, dude.
Whew, damn.
Yeah.
We were out of college. We were out of high school at that point. I think it was our freshman year.
Freshman year of college.
Yeah.
This isn't
so we didn't have to
topic, is it?
So thankfully we didn't have to experience that as high schoolers. But it was still very
it was like,
jarring.
whoa, dude.
But I feel people that were in like secondary school at that point, it probably hit them a little bit harder.
Right. Yeah, because I see the reactions to it, like the anniversary online, and it's a lot of people who were in high school at the time having a reaction to it that I didn't. Listen, it was awful, but it wasn't as visceral, I guess, because I had already left high school at that point.
I had nightmares.
It's awful.
I had nightmares, a lot of them actually,
Yeah.
after it happened about being in the public library.
Yeah.
I remember a recurring
Well, now
nightmare.
those things are
Yeah.
anywhere. Now
Yeah.
it's an anywhere problem.
It's true.
Yeah, it's like we're the generation that kind of didn't have to deal with constant like school shootings.
Yeah, we
it
did
was
not.
it was a new thing back then,
Yeah.
and thankfully, like it's not like we're not affected by.
We
it,
got out
but-
just in time. Like we were on the
Yeah.
tail end of having to have clear backpacks and shit. We didn't have metal
Yeah.
detectors or anything.
Man,
Yeah,
that was just awful.
Yeah. But 25 years.
It's weird. You can't imagine like how I think it felt for us, like you're saying, like because it wasn't as common. It really wasn't as common. There's
No.
I don't think you can argue with that, right?
No.
Like it felt like it was something from a
yeah,
whole other
well,
world.
it may have happened before, but it was never on this and that scale.
right.
You know, because before maybe like one or two people might have got shot or killed, which is still awful, but the scale of it on Columbine, it was like a whole nother level,
Yeah.
and as the years went on, the numbers just got bigger and bigger.
I think they
So-
also didn't they feel kind of like characters, these guys who did it.
Yeah.
There was something about them where they felt like they were. It was easy to kind of
Well, that's where
pigeonhole
this
them.
the stereotype of the school shooter came in as,
Right.
You
It's
know, with
basically
the
who they were.
yeah,
Because
the fact
they
that
were
they
our
did it on
first-
420. You know,
Do you feel like they
there's
also
a reason they did it
that
on
they
that date.
created that? Do you think that that look, the trench
Yeah,
coats and all that
definitely.
stuff? You think like that? Well, that became like it wasn't at that point.
It became
like-
shorthand.
It
Yeah.
became shorthand, but do you think it truly was shorthand that was perpetrated by the person putting the coat on and choosing to look like that? Where they're saying, I'm like that person is why I'm wearing a coat like this? Or do you think society was like suddenly shifted against like trench coats in public as hard as they did because of Columbine?
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, they were
No,
probably
I-
already
I-
going out of style, but
Yeah, like I went to high school with a lot of kids that look like that, so
Yeah.
I don't think they started the trend of it, but it just became the
But
go-to.
because it was like the first big.
I wouldn't wear one again after
No,
that.
yeah. If you did not want to wear one,
Yeah. I had
as a
one.
young white man,
I threw it away.
Yeah.
After Columbine, I threw away my I had a long trench
you
coat.
were a young white man and you had boots.
Yeah.
You would not to be wearing a trench coat out about.
Yeah.
Certainly not around here.
Yeah. You wouldn't wear
burbs.
there was a time when Doc Martens were kind of bad. Like you wouldn't want to wear them in this area where we live.
It's a little conservative.
You never know. Like there's little hate groups that you don't even back. You know, it's more obvious now. Like with the internet, we have so much more resources to point out. Like, oh, this is obviously coding for something. You know.
Right.
But back then we didn't know, so you would end up like inadvertently coding yourself as presenting yourself as this person who might be a threat to other people.
Look at Damien Eccles.
Right, yeah.
Do you think so? Last podcast on the left, they were talking about how John Bonet was like the mystery for the millennial generation. We're a little bit older, just a little bit. Do you think ours was the West Memphis 3? Is that our like mystery for our generation?
Think
about it.
I think ours
Think
were how
about
many
it.
licks it takes to get to the
How
center
many licks?
of a Tootsie Pop.
I don't know. So I think I was still too young to really understand that, as opposed
Oh,
to John,
yeah.
as opposed to like John Bonet, because
Right.
that was like a little older and I can consume media more, and I think it was more of a more sensationalized thing too.
Right.
So I still think John Bonet is also our generation.
Exactly, because we straddle the X and the millennials.
Is it the
Yeah,
one that
it's a very fine line.
it's when it occurred? Is that what they're
I
saying?
don't know. I
why?
was just thinking to myself
Yeah.
that when I was a kid, what was like the big publicized murders? Now the world was a little bit more fractured.
OJ, I guess maybe.
OJ. Never
Yeah,
mind. It's
probably
OJ.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But you know what's
I
weird
was
is like
14.
there was like this weird spike in interest in our
Fuck you, OJ. I hope you're burning in hell. What'd you say,
Yeah.
Frank?
Oh, I'm sure he is. He has to be. I was saying in this community where we live, there was like a spike pre-internet of interest in the Manson family stuff.
Oh man, I read Helter Skelter at a very young age.
Right, but there was a spike where it became it was weird in the 90s. The 90s teens co-opted the Manson murderers
Well,
case.
I think it's part of it became because Dahmer happened, and that kind of got an uptick of interest in serial killers, because that's after Dahmer happened. That's when I really started discovering and hearing about older
finding
serial
the books
killers
in the library.
Yeah, so I think maybe Dahmer and OJ's are big thing.
Why you think that's why our generation has such an interest in true crime is because of
Yeah,
OJ?
I think so.
And Dahmer, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, those two are. That is not like.
I mean, true crime is a natural thing that
it's always been there, but the fact that Dahmer was such a unusual case, and that was the big age of tabloid media too.
And we were very formative then. Our brains were squishy and looking to wrinkle.
Our generation was very interested in violence.
Yeah,
and I think it's really interesting because that is what happened in the World War I generation. They were really interested in violence as a metaphor entertainment kind of thing. Then World War I happened, and all those guys who went and saw actual combat were really horrified by what happened, all that horrible shit. And it turned the entire interest, the entertainment, what people were entertained by when they came home from World War I, all of a sudden, they brought over the Grand Guignol stuff and started making scary movies right before World War II happens. They're making Dracula and Frankenstein and all that. Just as the response to seeing real stuff, they want to be as far away from the reality of it. And then we get far enough away from these big world wars, ground wars, where people are killing each other in hand-to-hand combat and stuff. And we come right back to it again, where we're fascinated with real violence because we haven't seen firsthand. We haven't seen it ourselves firsthand as much.
It's living vicariously because we didn't have to face that in actuality.
Right. Yeah. It feels like we're riding a weird wave. Every generation
get me off this crazy thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't wanna anymore.
Yeah. I think that's why you gotta divert yourself. That's what diversion is, man.
To tell me one nice thing that happened to them this week.
Oh yeah,
Friday, you're first.
You, Amy, made my day today.
What I did?
You helped me make the backyard beautiful, and you listened to me when I wanted to tell you the things that I was sad about.
Yeah.
And you listened to me when I told you the things I was happy about. And I feel a lot better because of you. And Andy. This is the other really nice thing today. Just talking on here.
Andy.
I had lunch with an old friend recently. That was really nice.
Yeah. That's true.
Matt, so
the funny thing is, I thought maybe you meant another lunch with another old friend for just a minute. I was there for that. Go ahead. Sorry.
You guys are my only friends, so
I love you too.
No, it's I don't have friends outside of people that we know. You know what I mean? So
I'm about the same.
So it'd be weird if I had. He's hey, who you having lunch with? Some old friend. Who? You'd be just as confused because I
would be so what?
All of our
is he
friends
seeing
know
somebody
each other.
outside of our? Oh my god!
We turned into the characters from Seinfeld by accident.
Whoops!
You think about our friend group, we've grown up for so long that they've kind of become one anyway.
Yeah, that's true. So you had a lovely time catching up with your friend.
Yes, that was very nice. And it was the food was good too, so that was a plus.
The food was pretty good. I had some chicken wings. They have this sauce called Buckeye something barbecue, and it was real spicy and sweet. Amy, you'd have liked it.
No, I would have hated it. I don't like sweet and spicy.
I know you don't like sweet and spicy.
I don't like sweet and spicy.
But this one is the sweet spot.
Oh my god!
Oh, and it was interesting. We went to Quaker Steak and Lube, and that's a wing place, and lately, last couple of years, it's become a very a biker hangout.
Yeah, I think they've always kind of catered to bikers.
Yeah, but there's a sign on the door that said no colors. or something like that.
Oh.
So you have to
Yeah.
be kind of be careful what you wear there. I'm like, yikes.
Well, here's the thing. Anytime you're catering on purpose to that community, you're asking for trouble if you don't put up a little sign just to say,
but
please don't
The
be
rowdy
animals."
boys.
I get that, but it's just weird in the middle of suburbia
Yeah, that's funny.
to see something like that and to
Yeah.
think that there are bike gangs that would get upset if you wear a wrong bandana or something like that.
Yeah,
That's funny.
that's like a thing that I feel like they claim happened in the 70s around here more. Like I always heard stories from relatives who, I was too young to remember these stories, like the reality of it. Like, were there really like these biker gangs that really?
That's what they say.
I'm like, are you bullshitting me? This shit really happened? Because they
In
say
Cincinnati?
Cincinnati had an issue with biker gangs.
No, but not just gangs. We had an issue with suburban gangs too in high
Yeah.
school. Remember the 513 gang and
We
there's
did,
some other ones.
yes. And I knew people in that gang, and you're like,
Yeah, they
what
would
is
they would
going
meet
on?
up. They would meet up at the Kmart parking lot on the weekends.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Kmart. dude.
Yes, it was like
It
I
was-
worked at that Kmart.
Yeah, it was like 513, another gang. that
It was like miniature LA. Didn't it feel like it felt like a high school production of what it felt like to live in LA in the 90s was happening in our little community, you know?
it was weird because I knew drug dealers and people were in the gangs and
Yeah,
in
and
high school
I
and stuff
didn't.
like that.
there were people
was a good girl.
they weren't always people you expected though. It's not who you expect. There was all kinds of people doing it. Of all
And they- yeah.
ethnicities and some of these kids that came from
social,
families.
from different social classes. Like
Right.
a lot of them.
Kids who
like,
didn't need to deal drugs were dealing drugs.
Well, so a lot of the kids hung out just to feel hard.
So
There's like
hard.
Yeah,
I don't
I
get
knew
that,
some of
man.
it's like lily white kids that hang out
Yeah.
with the gangbangers.
If you didn't have to do that shit, why the fuck would you want to?
I don't
Do
know.
that
But I will
stuff.
tell you one thing. I have to pee. I'm hungry.
Oh, so what did
And
you
the dogs
what did-
need to be fed. So my fabulous thing that happened to me this week is I got to work outside a couple of days because we've had some beautiful weather. And when I work outside, I get to watch the birds do their thing at the bird feeder. And we have a cardinal couple that comes by.
It's so cute to
they're
watch
so
you out
sweet.
there when you do it. I know you have to pee, but I love that was your big thing for today. And sorry that we kept going on and on about stuff that was tangential there.
Yeah. I
but
was like, what are they even fucking talking about?
that became an old man conversation about
Yes.
a lot
Okay.
of things. But I loved watching you I was spying on you while you were kind of going around and checking around for nests.
Oh, I was looking for nests earlier today to see if there's any like inside the backyard, but I don't. Maybe one, but I'm not really sure.
Yeah, because we always have these nests.
Is it
that
too
are
early?
beautiful.
Is Gordo still around?
Gordo and Lady Gordo are around. Yeah, I saw them several times today, but I think they're on the other side of our fence. That's their home.
They're so pretty.
They're gorgeous. They're fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, and not to get I know this might be a little boring, but did you mention the brown-headed cowbird?
Look up a brown-headed cowbird because this little asshole is gorgeous, but an asshole. It's a bad bird.
It's a very gorgeous bird, but yeah, the weird thing about it taking
It'll
over
lay its
nests-
fucking eggs in other birds' nests.
Yeah,
Any bird will do and make them raise its young.
and it was not sinking in when you were trying to tell me how this worked.
It's terrible.
I felt like fucking Joey Tribbiani. I felt so dumb.
So they're bad parents and users.
Yeah. They're so gorgeous. They have this like shiny black body, but like this bronze brown head and shoulders. It's quite gorgeous.
It looks
they
like a
kick-
sculpture.
Yeah, they they lay their eggs in other birds' nests and make them raise their young.
Yeah.
That's just bad parenting. I'm sorry.
Man, I would love to have just a sculpture of it in that gradient.
Yeah.
Just that would make a beautiful, just something to put on a
Let's go buy the
buttress.
materials.
Yeah.
You put it on a buttress.
A buttress or a shelf up high.
Or a buttress.
But all right. Well, thanks, Amy. Go pee.
I'm
And
gonna
thank you,
go
patrons.
pee as soon as I can find the app that plays the song, Andy. You know
Yeah,
how to
okay. so we're still gonna vamp for now.
Yeah, thanks, Amy. This was great. Hey, you're such a good producer of shows.
Thanks, babies.
All right. Bye.
Bye.